Hello, thank you for watching this video on reporting culture. My name is Jessica and I work at Just Detention International. Just Detention International, or JDI, is a health and human rights organization that seeks to end sexual abuse in all forms of detention. We work with corrections officials, rape crisis advocates, and policymakers to make detention facilities safer. In this video, we will discuss trauma and sexual abuse. Some of this may be difficult to hear. If you have concerns, please seek guidance from your supervisor before watching this training video. Nationwide, sexual abuse is one of the most underreported crimes, especially when it happens inside prisons, jails, and other detention facilities. Each year, 200,000 people are sexually abused in US prisons and jails. Many of these people are victimized again and again. However, fewer than 5% of them will make a report. This is because many barriers exist that discourage survivors and witnesses to this abuse from reporting. While having reporting mechanisms and policies in place is a must, it's not enough. Creating a culture that encourages reporting and makes it safe to do so is critical to ending sexual abuse. Sexual abuse thrives in silence. Without a strong reporting culture, sexual abuse may go unnoticed. In this video, it is my goal to help you understand what a reporting culture is and its importance in making facilities safer for incarcerated people and staff, to identify reporting options that must be available to all incarcerated people, and to identify ways that you can foster a reporting culture as part of your daily work at this facility.
The Prison Rape Elimination Act is just good corrections practice. If an inmate, particularly a male, will come to you and talk about sexual assault or sexual harassment, there's a good chance they'll come and talk to you about some other things that might be a problem inside your prison or jail.
So what is a reporting culture? Fear of retaliation and the belief that they won't be taken seriously are among the main reasons incarcerated victims don't report sexual abuse. In a facility with a strong reporting culture, staff can cultivate an atmosphere where people can report abuse or other concerns without fear of negative consequences. This is accomplished in a few ways. One way is to take sexual abuse seriously. A facility where staff set the tone that sexual abuse will not be tolerated and proactively and consistently prioritize safety from sexual abuse is one where people will feel safer coming forward. Establishing trust. All staff must communicate their commitment to receiving and responding to reports. This is the foundation of building a reporting culture. Many victims do not file reports out of the fear that their report will not be investigated. People are more likely to report if they trust that reports will be taken seriously. Encouraging reporting. Intake education must include information about reporting options for sexual abuse and sexual harassment. These reporting options must be easy to access and always available to everyone in the facility. This means they must be available in accessible formats for people with disabilities or limited English proficiency, and they must also be available to people in special housing units, holding cells, etc. What does the intake education at your facility include about reporting options? And do you think people held in your facility know of these options and how to use them? The Prison Rape Elimination Act, or PREA, requires facilities to ensure multiple options are available to privately report sexual abuse and sexual harassment, retaliation by other incarcerated people or staff for reporting sexual abuse and sexual harassment, and staff neglect or violation of responsibilities that may have contributed to such incidents. This includes verbal reports to any staff member, volunteer, or contractor, written reports, regardless of whether it's through the formal grievance process or simply a note on scrap paper, third-party reports, such as from an outside family member, an external reporting entity, such as a Crime Stoppers hotline or the Ombudsman, that has agreed to receive and immediately forward reports to the facility. And victims must be allowed to report anonymously. Eliminating fear of blame or punishment. One of the most common reasons incarcerated people do not report sexual abuse is fear of being blamed or punished, such as being written up or automatically being moved to restrictive housing. People who report must be able to do so without fear of retaliation by staff or by others in custody. Examining and addressing errors. Incident reviews that critically examine the agency's response to reports are essential to identifying issues that may have contributed to an incident of abuse. If your role includes participating in incident reviews, use it as an opportunity to make recommendations for ways to improve the process. Even if you are not part of incident reviews, your on-the-ground observations and insight can still be crucial. A strong reporting culture gives incarcerated survivors more than one way to report sexual abuse and sexual harassment. It also helps investigators do their job, as Detective Dustin Contreras shares.
So how PREA has helped us as investigators and helped survivors and witnesses to report incidents, it's given them an out, whether they can report it to a hotline, whether they feel comfortable about coming to an investigator or talking about these things openly, and knowing that they can be protected. But I think with PREA, it is allowing people to open up more about that and then have a reporting process.
A lack of reports does not mean that sexual abuse is not happening. If your facility rarely or never receives reports of sexual abuse, it may be a sign of the need to strengthen reporting culture. It may also mean that reporting options are unclear or difficult to use. So how can you contribute to a reporting culture? Here are just a few ways that you can contribute to a reporting culture. Look around the facility. Ensure that information on how to report is readily available via posters or other written materials, and that it is clear, simple, and in a large enough font. This material must also be accessible for those who have limited English proficiency, have limited reading skills, are deaf, visually impaired, or may have cognitive disabilities. Take all reports seriously. Reporting sexual abuse can be very scary. When someone makes a report to you, your role is not to determine the validity of the report unless you are an investigator. Instead, treat every report as credible and take steps to ensure the safety of the person making that report. Take all necessary steps following a report. This may include alerting medical and your supervisor, protecting the person from the alleged perpetrator, preserving physical evidence, and documenting and forwarding the report. Know about and refer people to victim advocacy services. Anyone who reports should be given the opportunity to contact a rape crisis center or a victim advocate. Advocates can provide confidential, emotional support throughout the investigatory process and offer crucial information on trauma and healing. Make sure you know where to find the contact information for a victim advocacy organization so you can help facilitate that connection. By cultivating a reporting culture, you can be part of keeping the people in your facility safe. Thank you for your attention during this video. For further information and resources, please visit JDI at justdetention.org.